Hello and welcome to another edition of Game Time with Marco. Thank you very much for joining us, and thank you very much to all of you who have been following us. That is in terms of the two episodes that we had. This is the third edition, and we've received quite some positive comments. And keep those comments coming. Do follow us on all our social media platforms, and make sure that you give us ideas, suggestions, views, and opinions about the show. Once again, today I have one of Namibia's biggest coaches, if I may put it that way. He has been with Tura Magic, he has been with Black Africa, he has been with the national team, both national teams, the men and the women, and he's a title winning coach, and currently he is the first Namibian coach to ever coach in Botswana. I think he's enjoying life, and I think you know where I'm talking about. Nicholas Woody Jacobs, welcome to the show.
Thank you so much, Marco, and nice being on the show. It's been a while, a small visit home, and now we can at least talk some football, yeah.
Yeah, thank you for agreeing to see us at such a short notice. Just to kick off the show, who's Woody? Tell us about Woody Jacobson. Woody Jacobs.
Woody Jacobs, Windhoek, born and bred, Commersdal to be particular. Man who grew up on the football field, basically. Commersdal football field, if I may say that. And a man just fell in love with the game at a very early age. I always wanted to play. I always wanted to be a star and have my name in newspapers and on television and all these things. But my playing was not so. It didn't work out so well for me. So at a very early age, I got this interest into coaching, and it bit me early, and I saw that I like this what I'm doing. So we had a small team in Commersdal called Diamond Field, and Diamond Field was playing some youth tournaments around Windhoek and elsewhere, and I started to throw my weight in. At that time, I was still working for Namibia Wildlife Resorts, and I was a resort manager at Dunvillion, just outside Windhoek here. And on my off days, I would come and coach the team. But later on, I said that this is the thing I want to do. And as early as 2001, I did my first coaching license. At that time at SKW, with the likes of Richard Stark and David Snever, some of the guys that attended with me that coaching course that was brought by SKW. A big coach from Germany came and he delivered that coaching course. So coaching for me has been part of my life for 25 years. I started very young. I just turned 47, and I can tell you that for 25 years I've been coaching. So you can say that I started basically at the age of 22. I started coaching.
Yeah. You're also a teacher?
I'm a former teacher, yes. I chose teaching because I was, like I told you, I was working in resorts, and I was transferred to Korigas to head the lodge there, go to Alali, Kokuyu, all these places. But I still had passion for the game. So my work at that time didn't allow me to fully commit to coaching and to be stable. So I chose teaching, and I said, let me go and venture into that, because I think it's basically the same thing. And that's what I did in 2008. I quit my job as with NWR, and I went on to study education. Now recently, I also made a very difficult and hard decision to leave teaching for good, and to pursue my dreams of becoming a professional coach and a full-time coach.
Now let's take us through your early days in coaching. How difficult was it? How easy was it?
Sure. The fact that I didn't play, I was not a high-profile player, always going to be difficult, because people are asking, who's this guy? But I think I had some quality players when I started coaching.
Who were those players? Do you remember some of them?
Rudy Lowe, Heinrich Isaacs, the late Franklin April, Bradley Verman. I had a host of names that was so good. James Brits was one of them. Some of the guys that I coached, and they made it easy for me. And I think I can today say that they made me the coach I am, because they made me believe that this is what I can do. And I went from strength to strength. My first year in the Premier League was tough. I started off with Civics. We didn't do so well, and Civics later relieved me of my services, and I went on. That's the time I now went to Korigas, and I went to go coach Robert Chantis, which is a local team there, one of the big teams there. So it was tough in the beginning, and I came back, and at times you wanted to quit because it's really tough, and you say, it's tough because in the junior ranks it was easy because I had quality players, and we were winning everything. But now in the Premier League, and you're working with guys that's almost your age, and sometimes there's no respect as per se. But I think I rolled with the punches, and I stood strong, but I also learned a lot how to deal with these players. And I can mention a player like Orlando Harasep. I coached him. Till today, he still calls me coach, and he's almost 60. And he played on Saturday. You saw him. He played against the Bafana Legends. Still, those memories are there, fond memories. You had some guys that also helped you along the way. And I think the biggest attribute or the sustainability or my longevity in coaching was because I believe that players are the architects of our success. And I believe in the human being. If you believe in the human being and you get in their mind and you get to know them, I think that is the biggest thing we can do as human beings. In every sphere of life that we work in, the human resource is the most important resource.
What was the lowest point of your coaching career so far?
Lowest point, my team, I tried to help young ones with 5 games or 6 games to go. They were rock bottom, and they got relegated. And in the history books, I got relegated young ones. So that was my lowest. It was in 2002, 2003 season, and I was basically on the books when young ones got relegated. So it was my boyhood club. It's a club that's from my area in Kommersdal, where I'm from, and I grew up watching that team, and it was a phenomenal team. And also now that the team is no more to be found, and it basically lost its legacy amongst Namibian football. But people will remember that Young Ones was once a formidable team. So in all honesty, that was for me the lowest. The others, I have no regrets. I try to do the best I can at every club I've been at. I've been fired so many times, but I never kept it against the team, because I believe this is a performance-based industry, and if you don't perform, sometimes I was even performing and I got fired. So it's not really I have no regrets. I love this game, and I believe in Namibian football. I believe that Namibian football is on the upwards trajectory. Somebody asked me last night, and he said, what do I think, what is the problems in Namibian football? I think that you have to box it in a way that you need to say that if I look at Namibia, 33 years independent, 31 years for playing under FIFA, Namibia has grown a lot. We are now going for our 4th time to the African Nations Cup. That is remarkable for a small country. If I see the number of players that has gone over to play professional, compared now to where I am in Botswana, Namibia has exported more players than Botswana to South Africa, for instance, or Europe or wherever. So I think our football is really on the up, and I believe our individual talent is so much.
What was your the highest point of your coaching career up to date?
Sure. I would say the leagues we won with Civics and African Stars, the cups with African Stars is obviously Coach of the Year accolade. But there's so many. But I cannot really say what is for me the highlight. But qualifying for Chan as assistant coach, because my dream was always to coach the Brave Warriors. My dream was always to coach and to be part of that for me is a highlight. For me to be part of that was a highlight.
Most people don't know that you come from a footballing family. Quinton Jacobs is your young brother. Bradley Verman is one of them.
Yeah.
How is it when you sit as siblings and talk about football? How is that conversation going?
It's always, and even yesterday we did that. We spoke about football, and Quinton has always been, the most skillful player that Namibia ever produced, and you saw that on Sunday.
Yeah,
Saturday.
I was telling him actually, he
Yeah.
still has the touch. Yeah.
No, he does, and he loves football so much. And I'm the one who pushes him into coaching. I'm the one who say that you cannot have so much and you cannot give it back to football. And at times he was not really, but now I'm seeing that he wants to join coaching and he wants to give back what he has learned. Bradley is one that said he doesn't want to play football. He doesn't want to be involved in football because he doesn't like the politics. But I told him, football made you. The name that you are renowned for is because of football. So you need to give back. But I believe that he will, once opportunity comes, I think he will get into that. So football is basically the topic of discussion the whole day.
You say that you have never really minded, or you've never been worried about being fired from a team, or the team letting go of your services. You have also left some teams unceremoniously. I remember one day we were told you resigned via SMS. How true is that story?
Yeah, it's true, and I actually spoke about it yesterday. I left Ramblers for Tura Magic, but at that time I didn't have the guts to tell them, because the team was doing well, Ramblers was doing well, and Tura Magic was rock bottom in the Premier League, and Jakes and Isaac and then Peter came to me, and they literally begged me to come help the team. And because we had such a good relationship, I felt that it was good for me to go and coach them. And then we managed to end fifth or fourth that year after being rock bottom when I joined them. And then Ramblers also very good team at that time. I brought Emmanuel Heita Lucky. I brought them to Ramblers, and he started. Afterwards, he became a national team player and all these things. So Ramblers was good for me, but I left them so bad. But I was also left so many times, and so I remember on my way to training, I was coaching Tigers, and we played over the weekend, and we managed to beat Mighty Gunners away. And then on the Monday, the chairman called me and said, on your way to training, pass by my house. And he was staying near the Ramblers field. At that time, we trained at Telecom. On my way, I came to his house, and we sat there, and the guy said, no, Woody, thank you, but we no longer interested in your services. And the guy was laughing, and I was thinking, no, he's just making a joke. And at the same time, Tolly van Wyk is preparing the team to coach the team for that Monday. So Namibian football has also disrespected us so much. But for Ramblers, I have heartfelt the way I treated them was not good. But what Namibian football did to me, no, it cannot even be compared to what I did.
What has it done to you?
No, I mean the way that you are chased, the way that okay, let's go into things that just recently happened. The Gladiators. I was appointed interim coach. I went to the final round of qualification, just like they are now at the final round of qualification. I lost to Zambia on a away goal. I come back, the normalization takes over, I get fired. I don't know what I did.
Nobody explained to you.
Nobody explained. They said, no, you don't have a contract. But I mean, I went to the same interview. I attended the interview. I was selected on that basis. And it's the same interview that led to Colin Benjamin's 5-year stint at the Brave Warriors. No, in our country we are selective. We are favoring people. Now I'm so glad the NC left. I'm so glad.
Yeah, let's talk about your relationship with the NC. I didn't want us to get into this controversy now, but obviously to some people you come across as a very controversial person. To some people you come across as a very principled person. Where are you in those two?
I'm with the latter. I'm a principled person. If, like I'm asking, when my contract was terminated in 2022, in May, I asked them, why?
No explanation?
No explanation. No thank you, blah, blah, blah. At that time I was still owed money, all these things. You must go. Then in June, they appoint Colin Benjamin, using the same interviews that we had. Now where do you draw the line? Where do you draw the line and to say that? So Namibia is only for a certain few and not for me. What did I do? I took that team. I was not paid. I stayed in South Africa for a month, away from work. I was teaching at that time. All the sacrifices you've made, and then you come back and you have that. I'm so glad that the NC left. They left our football divided.
What is your relationship with the NC? What was your relationship with the NC?
I don't know them. I don't know them.
But they were your bosses.
Yeah, but they also didn't know me. They didn't know me. I never knew Bisi Wira. I never know Avra Shiming Chase. Dina was training with me, and then I offered her team manager at the Brave Gladiators, and then she refused because I think this was lined up as an NC. Because prior to us leaving for Zambia, she told me that she cannot go. But I said that, can you become my team manager? And I think I also announced it when we had the press conference prior to us leaving for Zambia. And Dina was there. So Dina, I know. I don't know the other people. Willie Mertens, I know socially, but I don't know him. But what did I do? And
so we have had two normalization committees. The first one was led by Hilda Passon, and this one was led by Bisi Wira. Of those two, which one would you say would you rate higher than the other?
I think never again should we have a normalization.
Both of them you don't?
No, yeah. No, it's not about the people. I said Namibia and the football people in Namibia, we should never allow that another normalization committee of people that are out of bounds with football come and run football.
Why?
Because they create more damage than they normalize. They've not. What have they normalized? Can you tell me what is that they have done? What is that they have done?
I can't answer you those
questions. No, but I'm saying if we look critically, what have they done? They've created more harm. Now recently, Colin was appointed on a 5-year contract. That's the thing is, Paulus Shipanga was appointed to the Gladiators. And then you hear that coaches need to be flew in because the qualifications, they don't meet the qualifications. Then I now just read also like you, I saw that Salome Yambo is appointed as a technical director. What does technical director, maybe it changed. But all the years I know that the technical director is a coach. Now, I am having an A license, CAF A license. I'm an instructor, coach educator. Now my person that I'm reporting to are having a C license. How does that, you teach at university, you're teaching a degree program, but you have a grade 12. Does that make sense?
You report to a grade 12.
That is the normalization for you. Who appointed her? It's the normalization. I never applied. Because I applied and I was interviewed and I was selected. What happened to those interviews? What happened to that? But we're in court.
Under the same
We're in court. We're in court. They will have to show why they terminated my contract. They will. We are in January. We'll be the High Court about this issue. Now you appoint someone. If the person has a C license, yes, he has a master's in sport administration. Coaching and sport administration is two different domains. Or am I wrong?
No, I hear what you're saying.
Yeah, am I wrong to say that I have nothing against Salome? A beautiful personality. I know her. She played for the Gladiators. I know that she's working for FIFA. I know that she's working for the sports commission. But I'm asking, and she has a team, young beauties, a ladies team, and she's doing well for that team, and I see the progress that she's making. But how will that person now lead coaches with A license? Coaches with 25 years experience in coaching. How will you lead me now? And it was done by a normalization. A normalization committee that doesn't know that those things need to be like that. Why are we not having CAF coaching courses? Because we are not adhering to the CAF Coaches Convention. There are certain guidelines that we must have and must be put in place.
Even now, recently, the Normalization Committee actually refused to have the Coaches Association as an affiliate of.
Because who's the president of the Coaches Association?
Is
the man sitting next to you. Because they don't know where he is. They know who I am. I don't change. I don't change. I'm controversial. I hear people say I'm controversial. I say controversial how? When you speak the truth, you're controversial. You cannot be controversial when you speak the truth. We need more people like that. We need more people that can speak the truth and speak out.
And force people to take responsibility.
Yes. Now, these people that we brought into our football are champions in their own industries. Why must we bring them to football? Why didn't we go and take Rustin Mukhane, for instance, and say, you're a former chief administrator of the Sports Commission, you're a former national coach, why can't you come and then you go take Doc Naubet, that was at UNAM all these years and also former president of NFA, and then you can go take John Munyu, and you go take who, and then you can make a normalization of football people that understand football. Now you appoint that person, and do you know that it's a permanent position? It's not even a contract. But you know that all the parastatals here at New Era, is people here for life?
No.
The top brass?
No.
Are they having contracts?
Yes.
Yes, and that's out. But at NFA, with the normalization, they appointed Salome on until retirement age. In a position of that nature.
Which is result based as well.
Is results based. You get what I'm saying? Yeah, you need to start educating the coaches. How do you educate the coaches if you are having less than the coach?
Maybe you should upgrade yourself from the position.
But you cannot upgrade yourself. You need to coach. Coaching, my brother, coaching is done. You start with the D license. You go to C. You go to B. You go to A, and then you go to Pro. Which is your, but even on a pro level or on an A license level, you constantly need to do refreshers because the game is evolving. So how are you going to do this now if you're not coaching? How are you going to improve as a coach if you're not coaching? How are you going to give me a coaching course if you're not coaching? This is the things that we do in Namibia, and it's crazy. Because of the problems that we have and the firing, and I had to go to Botswana. I'm now in exile in Botswana.
We'll talk about Botswana. You have taken the normalization committee to court.
Yes.
For
unfair dismissal.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Take us through that process. What happened? What you say you were told you are not needed at work to coach the Brave Gladiators.
Yes. And then you go and appoint someone.
Mm-hmm.
Look, like I said in June, it was in May, with contract terminated. But I still said, okay, let's engage. Let's engage. Before I went to court,
they owed you something. Yeah.
They owed me money. So then, when the money eventually came, when the pressure was put on them, and they eventually paid, almost 2 years after or a year and some months after they deducted money because I was not supposed to get a certain monies and salaries and all these things, according to them.
Mm-hmm. So where did they get that when they say you didn't have a contract? Where did they get now to say?
I had a contract.
Now, but they say you don't have a contract when they terminated you, right?
Yes.
Yeah, but now, so where did they say now come and say we are deducting this money because your contract says you're not supposed to do this?
Interpretation. For instance, my contract stipulated that I must get a monthly salary, mm-hmm. and I must get appearance fee for matches. Mm-hmm. Clearly stipulated in the contract. Now the contract was an interim one that started in September, October, November. Yeah. And then, because it was only for the Tanzania game, Kosafa and Tanzania game. Mm-hmm. So we beat Tanzania. We progressed to the next round. So at that time, the contract was not extended. Mm-hmm. But in terms of law, the moment that I continued the work, that contract was basically indefinitely extended. That's what the court say. So now, that is there. So now comes the new normalization committee and their interpretation of law and say that Cosmos was never supposed to give me this contract. I was never supposed to be getting monthly salaries because I didn't have an office at the soccer house. And I asked them, now you normalization, you are getting every month money from FIFA. Where's your office? At NFA. You're only having meetings at NFA. But you get a monthly salary. So you are contradicting yourselves. Football is not the office. The office is the football field. You get what I'm saying? So I was not the author of the contract, but I signed that contract together with the former SG, which was Cosmos. So because they had the issues with Cosmos, they maybe think that Woody was a Cosmos boy, and that's why Because people were whispering in the ear, now he's maybe also part of the progressive force and all these things, and all the progressive forces people had to leave. That's what happened to Bobby.
Are you part of the progressive forces?
I'm a liberated mind. I'm a liberated mind. I don't follow. I'm not a groupie.
Okay, you spoke about Bobby Samaria. You worked together at the national team, and you ended up leaving. How is your relationship with him?
We are good. Very good.
Why did you leave?
At that time, we had differences. Bobby, to be honest with you, I think he felt, he saw me as a threat. But I was never
a threat to his position of head coach.
Maybe, but I never had, because I could have also, when there was also opportunity for me to take that job, but I never wanted that job. I was not ready.
But you said you wanted to coach the Brave
Yes.
when you started, yeah.
At that time, I was not ready. Now I'm ready.
Okay. So what were the differences? Was it the team selection? Was it the tactics? Was it the
No, I think Bobby was a loner in decision making, and that and I said, as a team we cannot work like that. He decided on who to call up. He decided who to play, the tactics, everything. So I was basically not part of decision making. And as an assistant coach, it cannot be like that. I know that me and you were together the day when I saw the list of the Brave Warriors.
Oh yes.
Yes, you remember on my birthday?
Yes.
Yeah, 2nd November.
Yeah,
4 years back.
Yes, and we saw the list and I asked you about it.
And I said it's my first time to see the list.
Yeah.
Okay. Because we started off well, and then later on he went into deciding himself and all these things. And I told him no.
So do you think he valued you less? At that time,
no,
he valued you less?
I think Bobby has great respect for me and coaching. I just think that something happened. Somebody must have said something, and maybe he sensed that I was trying to overshadow him, and people are maybe relating to me or the players, and he thought it's not good for him to. Because we started off well, we called up the first team when we got the job. We called up the first team, me and him, and everything was fine, and we worked together. And then later on, I saw how things were spiraling.
How was that experience working in the national team, qualifying for CHAN, starting the Africa Cup of Nations? Because the foundation of this qualification came from you and Bobby Samaria. Yeah. You played a 1-1 draw at FNB Stadium with Burundi. How was that experience?
No, it was the best. Like I said, the national team is something else, and Namibia is blessed with talent. I'm not lying to you. I was telling someone that even I think we can have 3 teams.
3 national teams.
3 national teams. I will tell you why. I will tell you that I think there's people that should only focus on, or should only be playing AFCON and World Cup qualifiers. We have such a good bunch of players.
Okay, Peter.
Peter, Dion, Shitembi, Awilo, Ryan Yambe, the goalkeeper. I even see that Virgil is back playing. I think we should call him, because there's no substitute for experience. I think we should call him, because we always have goalkeeper problems. Also, when Lloyd also is off form, he's not currently playing at his team. I'm talking about your Kambaripas, your Papamas, your Fredericks, your Rudats, all these boys playing now outside. Lubeni or Congo, for me, I believe the team must be built around him.
He's injured prone.
It looks like that. I don't know, but he's playing for his club.
But he got injured after the last round of matches.
Yeah, but I don't know, and I think it was also the problem in Lille. What led for him to come back to South Africa. But I think this is one of the players that I believe, the young boy from Tigers, Tuli, is one of the players that I believe that we should build our team around.
Okay, those are the guys that we can call them
the mainstay,
the elite players.
The elite players,
okay, then we have these guys the second group.
The second group is your Kamatukas, the young boy from Yunam. There's a boy, he plays for African Stars, Maerero. Very good player in my opinion. Even the one who played, I think number 11, is it Shaikika? Very good player, players for the future. You have Brendan Neibeb at Pirates. You have Romeo Kasume now with me in Botswana. You have McCartney Navasep in Botswana.
As well, yes.
I'm not lying to you. I believe that we have the players. And then let me tell you about now that I'm there, coaches are calling me. Don't you have a number 10 in Namibia? Don't you have a number what? Don't you have a left back? Because they said what Namibians bring to that league. And I'm not lying to you. It's not by fluke that Matabele is up there amongst the big boys.
Mm-hmm.
It's because of the Namibians, what they bring to that team.
Matebele is his team that is coaching in Botswana, by the way, and they're performing extremely well. They got promoted this season. It's their first season in the top flight in Botswana.
Yeah.
They're sitting pretty well at number 5.
Yeah.
4 wins.
4 wins.
2 defeats and 1 draw.
2 defeats and 1 draw,
Yeah, after 7 matches.
Yeah.
So that's a good record.
No, it's you know, the team, for me, actually, they've exceeded my expectation. But it's the response I'm getting from the players. Even the Botswana players, when I came there, they were a little bit lackluster, not really, because they're playing in the country, they're content. But now I said, you must challenge yourself. You must at least lift your bar. And now we also have a player in the Zebras team. So for the first time, a small team like Matabele is having a player in the national team. So people are also now watching Matabele players, especially the local ones, to add them to the Chan squad. I think Chan was cancelled. Yeah. So, those are the things that we are working towards.
Okay. We're talking about your relationship with the NC. The elections were held this past weekend as well. We have a new president. What are your expectations?
I said I want to say this. The person that the president, Robert Mushimashvili, I want him to restore our football and unite us.
You think he can do that?
If he should, I don't know. I don't know if he. But if I can give him some advice, we need to unite our football. The division, because football. What brought me here today is football. What made you a man from Bulawayo and a man from Commersdal sitting here talking football?
From Plumtree.
From where are you?
Plumtree.
Plumtree.
Yes.
Okay. We can discuss football. It's football. So football unites. It's the biggest unifier. You saw on Saturday the support that was there. Enormous. I last saw that crowd at that very stadium in 1998 when we played Bafana Bafana. And I was there, sitting at the same place. On Saturday, I sat at the same place where I sat in 1998. And football can do that. Football can bring people from all walks of life together, rich or poor. We must stop this thing of divide. We must unite our football. And even I would say, the people that he competed against, Patrick Kauta, that man can give something to football. He can give something to football. So don't throw him away. You get what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Don't throw him away. I would rather say, let us unite. Let us unite our football. Because I've seen in this country where we walk past each other when we were brothers before. Because of football. Because of football, we don't talk to each other anymore. You see what's happening at Black Africa. That was a family. The most illustrious team in the country's history is today in the first division. And I hear they're still fighting. For what? For what are they fighting? If they go and sit down, why are you fighting? What should be the bigger picture? It should be Black Africa. And my message to Robert would be, let football be the winner and unite our football. We have differences. We are a diverse country. We all come from different walks of life. We all come from different backgrounds. But at the end, we have one common thing, and it's football.
Yeah, so from the two candidates that stood, you would have chosen Robert or Kauta?
No, for me, I know Kauta. I worked with him when I was at African Stars. I got to know Robert. I think they're both astute gentlemen. Yeah, astute administrators. You can see the changes that Robert made to Blue Waters. The very good talent coming through. There's another boy that I wanted to say, Stephen Damasev. Very good player. So when we have the Peters and then the Stephen Damasevs, Junior Pietres, so many players. So many players in that Blue Waters lineup that is so good. So to be honest with you, I think they're both astute, but I think the best man won. at the end of the day, and we need to give him all the support we can. And
do you agree with the voting patterns or the voting statutes that are there?
About slates?
Yes, about where you come with your slate and you have to convince people to vote for you. We have about 34 people that had to vote, that were carrying the votes for the nation. Would you agree with that? Would you say that the Normalisation Committee did a great job revising the statutes and making them the way they are right now? Or is just a continuation of what happened before when we had the 24 votes? This time around it's 34, they added 10 more.
I will tell you this. I will say that for me, if you are a stakeholder in football, you must vote. If you have a club playing in the second division or first division of Premier League, or in the women's first division Premier League,
and you're in good standing with the NFA,
and you're in good standing and you're under the auspices of the NFA, you must vote. Because how can someone put in his time, resources and everything and not have a say in the running of football? Just like you said about the Coaches Association. How can coaches not have a say in the running of the game? Who understands this game better than anyone else? It's coaches. Most of the time you see the coach is everything at the team. He's the bus driver, he's the cook, he's the medic, he's the everything. He's the father. But now coaches are said, no, you must go stand aside. Who's coaching those teams? Is it not coaches? If we now say that all the coaches, because you will take us out, if we say that we're going to keep our services, is there going to be a game?
The players will coach themselves.
They can't. Which player coached himself? Which player coached himself? But if we say that now, if the coaches in this country have what it takes, like me, and say I'm not going to coach you, and they stand together and they say no, you're not going to coach until we have a say in the running of football.
So are you going to reach out to the new executive council?
We'll definitely do that. We'll definitely do that. We'll definitely do that. Because I know that why we were taken out. I know. And even FIFA told them that the coaches must be there. Coaches must be represented. All over the world.
But the people who rejected the coaches are the ones that are in the executive council.
Which one?
The ones that won the
No. You see, all these ploys was in December.
Yes.
Last year, December. I was invited to a meeting with FIFA. And their coaches we were supposed to get provisional admission. And later on, I went to the SG, the interim SG, and he said that no, we were taken out. They came up with the story of former coaches association. I said, how can a former coach doesn't want to be in football? How can a former coach have an association? It's current coaches, because they and I can show you those papers. It was manufactured, just like you asked me about the voting patterns. Everyone must vote, not certain people. They try to increase the women vote to derail the progressive force. It didn't work. All the attempts by the MC to derail the progressive force didn't work. But I agree with you. If Marco is the best media person and he stands for executive member, then we must get him. We must get people that are fully competent in running football. Football is run on a commercial basis. It's not run like this. But I agree with you. But if I had a say, I would say everyone should vote. All the clubs must vote. All the clubs must vote. But now a chairman is carrying a vote. Do you know that what also supposed to happen is that before that person go cast his vote, the teams must caucus and they say we're gonna vote for Marco or Woody on the basis that you must come and do a presentation and say what can you bring as changes to football. That's what they must do.
One man that I know that you always spoke football with, that you always fought with for football, Pero Rukoro, he has come out. I'm sure you saw what you said about Chula Chula, Eshoke Chula Chula, and the way they are run as a club. Do you agree with this statement?
What did he say?
He said that Chula Chula is a project.
A Vambo project.
Yes.
Oh, okay.
Why are they getting favors as compared to Okakarara? Okakarara, they got promoted. They have the same problems as Chula Chula in terms of the stadium, but the central government has allowed for a budget to be diverted to go and improve the stadium in Chula Chula, but not the same thing with Okakarara.
That's now, and I think that's now, Barry made those remarks, maybe he knows better than me. But I always say, football unites. Football must unite. And that's why I'm saying that if Robert can heed my advice or listen to me, I would say unite this football. Because our tribalism in this country will kill this country. Tribalism in this country will kill this country.
But we have never seen tribalism within the national team. It's the national team is made of diverse players.
Yes.
And it has worked so well. We have qualified for 4 Africa Cup of Nations. We've qualified for 2 Chan. We've won the COSAFA Cup. And we've continued to perform well with those diverse players that we have.
Yeah, but look, most of the teams are along tribal lines. So what can you do about it?
But
Orlando Pirates is a what?
It's a football team.
A football team comprising
but they have various players from various tribes.
No, I'm just saying, if you look at the history of the club, it emerged from where?
From the Damara tribe.
From the Damara Nama tribe, am I right?
Yeah.
Black Africa, also Damara Nama
and Tswanas.
And Tswana.
Yes.
That was the Tigers, Ovambo. Rundu Chiefs,
Kavangos, yeah.
And we go on. It's like that. I don't buy into that. What I like about Chula has shown that it's time for our football people to stand up and support their teams. For Komasdal to stand up and support
their own
civics. That is on the demise. For the Damara location to stand up and support Orlando Pirates, because there's no more Black Africa in the Premier League. Chula is brilliant in what they are doing. I absolutely love what they are doing, and that is what we must start supporting our own. I will tell you why. I was in Botswana and I watched Jwaneng play Orlando Pirates. The previous day, SuperSport played Gaborone United. The stadium is empty. The following day, Jwaneng plays Orlando Pirates.
The
stadium is packed.
Of Orlando Pirates fans or Jwaneng fans?
People want to come and see South African footballers. Huh? They don't want to support their own. Why don't want they support their own? I have a problem with us supporting South African teams, Arsenal, Chelsea, Liverpool, and all these things. I want us to support, like we did on Saturday. Stadiums must be like that. Chula is doing the right thing. They came and they mobilized their people to come and support them.
And they drive all the way from
Ongwena to come. And mind you, they're not even from Oshakati. Do you know that? They're not from Oshakati. They're from Ongwena, and Nana, and all those places there. And I like what they're doing. Now is the time that, and I'm saying it's now the time for Karasburg to fill the stadium and support young Brazilian. For Gobaba's people to support young African. Because that is revenue. If Chula is going to have 15 games, home games, and they're going to have 5,000 people at the gates every game, you can do the maths. That is what football can bring. Now you want to make it a tribal thing. Now you want to make it a political thing. No, it's a revenue stream. It's income generating. Why don't we stand up and support Orlando Pirates? Why don't we stand up and support Tigers? Why? So for me, I don't know what happened. I also don't want to know. But it's beautiful to have a full stadium. Ask any player. The best football is played when the stadium is full.
So we witness that, obviously, infrastructure in this country has always been a problem. It's a problem right now. What would be, if you are given an opportunity, what would you do to improve the infrastructure situation? Especially football infrastructure.
That central government hand over, and the city of Windhoek, for instance, and the city or the town council of whichever team, hand over stadiums to private contractors to look after these stadiums. Because we cannot do it. Even I was looking at Independence Stadium. That was, when did you announce that you're going to play this cup?
A long time ago, 2 months, a month or two back.
My man, I cannot fix a car. I will take the car to the garage. We cannot fix cars. There's the people here at Country Club. They need to have a green for the ball to run smoothly for golf. Go get those people. Come fix the stadium. In Botswana, stadia, top notch. Top notch.
Even for your club.
Marco, We play on, there's no uneven pitch there. We don't play on that. Botswana. Just here. Just go ask them what they are doing. I even said, and I said to Paulus, let the gladiators come play in Lobatse. Then people, now Namibia and Botswana has this agreement of IDs. We fill the buses, we go support them against Ghana. And then they qualify for AFCON. But now you're going to play in South Africa, where there's no one. The security is more than the people watching the game. Huh? These are the things that's happening in our country. Normalisation Committee that you brought. We are playing in South Africa at Dobsonville Stadium. Paid 100,000. But in Botswana you can pay 10,000. Beautiful stadium. Namibians can go in. It's also a weekend getaway. We go to Mahun. We go see the Okavango Delta. You go watch the game. You come back. You do some tourism. You're a tourist for a weekend. Huh? No, we don't want to think. You play 2 matches in Morocco. You give them already. Take.
We don't want this.
We don't want. No. We don't want Olympic qualifying. You made those girls so small. A normalization. You play 2 matches. You play Morocco's game in Morocco. You play Namibia's game in Morocco. Because you already lost. You could have brought them here to altitude and hit where they're not used to. They're near the Mediterranean Sea. They are nice, those girls. You can even see their complexion is nice. You bring them here so that they burn. And then we have a chance. We don't think. Because you have the only football people in the office. It's only football people that can reason like me. It's only football people.
Well, the gladiators came out and complained about not being paid and all these issues that you are talking about. And they are not being listened to by the Normalisation Committee.
They cannot listen to them because they're getting 70,000 a month from FIFA. Nice.
So their pockets are fine? They don't care.
When you will see the ability of a man if he stands in comfort. If a man stands in comfort, you will see what he will do for other people. But let him stand out of comfort, then he will complain. But when they're there, did they ever say that? Did they ever ask FIFA to give them their money? Or did they ever have to wait for their money? Did they give some of that money for football? Did they give it? Those people, did they give it for football? For meeting once a week? Meeting once a week? And they got so much money from FIFA? No, my man. I have no respect for things like that. I'm sorry. And then you go and play like that. The Brave Warriors in 1998 was paid 10,000 Namibian dollars. Per game. Now the Brave Warriors is getting 6,000. You see why Peter played on Saturday?
Inflation?
Did you see that Peter played on Saturday for Sundowns? And he didn't play for Namibia on Wednesday? And was he not the one complaining the last time you interviewed him?
He was the one.
Yes, why was he complaining? I have sympathy with him if he doesn't want to come play because we've made them small. We've made them small. These are people that's supposed to get 60,000, 70,000 a game because they are our heroes. Now your normalization come and they give these people 6,000.
But then is it the problem of the Normalisation Committee or is the problem of people?
Prior to that, they were getting 20,000. Now they made them sign contracts of 6,000. The girls, those girls that I'm talking to you, and you remember that you did a report on the girls being owed money. They got 15,000 per game. They are getting now 6,000. This is the Normalisation Committee for you. I'm so glad they left. My God, I'm so glad. Let them go to their industries. And never again must they be in football. Never again. We must not even invite them to football games.
Just to watch?
No. For what? What did they do for our football? What did they do? Tell me, what did they do? I'm not attacking their personal capacities. I'm asking, what did they do for football? They started the Premier League. Is that what you say to me? Is the first division starting? Is the second division playing?
Some regions are playing.
Some regions are playing. Maybe they have their own monies that they've sourced, which I think is a good thing.
All right, moving on. The standard of football in Botswana. You have coached in Botswana. You have coached in Namibia. Comparing those two, which one would you? What would be your comparisons? Not to say this one is better or this one is not better. What would be your comparison?
I think Namibia is better talent.
Talent.
The talent, individual talent. The organization, Everything is better, but when it comes to our teams, the quality of football that we play, I think we are better.
So what do we do now to harness that talent and make sure that we go on to the next level?
What should happen here is that we need to do football full time. We should stop playing 2 games on a weekend. That's one thing you must do. Yeah? Because we also reduce the number of years a player can play. It's a fact. In Botswana, we play Wednesday, Sunday, Wednesday, Saturday, Tuesday, Saturday. There's at least 72 hours break in between. They're also like us, similar size, everything, but at least they have that common sense.
But the finances that they get as a league...
Do you know that they don't have a league? They don't have a league sponsor? Do you know that no club is getting no grant?
How are the clubs surviving there?
The clubs are sustained. Jwaneng is a mine. Orapa is a mine. Sua is a mine, salt mine. Morapule Wanderers, the former coach that just passed on recently, is a copper mine. GU is a community team, but one of the biggest with sponsors. Even Bank of Windhoek is sponsoring them. It's called Bank Gabron on that side. Township Rollers is a big one. It's sustained also with good revenue streams, so it can sustain itself. And then the rest is teams that are sustained by like Security Systems is a company. VTM is a company of security. So they have institutionalized the teams. You get what I'm saying? But they don't get grants.
So what would be your advice now?
Games are shown live
on their local television.
Botswana TV paid the rights 8 million pula, which is about 11.5 million in American dollars. NBC, when are they going to do that? When are they going to pay for the rights of the television? These are the things I'm talking about. You get what I'm saying? So what we should do here is that I would love to see a Nampower, say Nampower Tigers. Get the naming rights for Tigers. Nampost Civics FC. Namdep or Dep Marine Young Brazilian. That's how these players can now start to get these monies that can sustain themselves. That they don't go to work and come tired and then they must still perform at the optimum and then must play 2 games a weekend. You must travel through the night. All these things. I'm going to play on Sunday against Township Rollers, this coming Sunday. Then I'm playing in Francistown, which is 500 kilometers away. I'll travel the day before. We sleep there. We play. We sleep there. We travel back. 500 kilos. That's what Botswana does. But here, you travel through the night, accidents, all these things. I was involved in the accident. James Brits was involved in the accident. Now Tigers was involved in the accident. A young Brazilian was involved in the accident. When are we going to learn from these things? But I would love to see New Era sponsoring a football team, adopting a football team. Why not? You will even have the colors of African Stars. You can say New Era African Stars.
All right. Moving on from that, with your case with the NFA, where are we now?
Last time, your newspaper reported that the case was thrown out.
Yeah.
And what I did is we went to go and report the arbitrator for some malpractices and how she dealt with the case. And the court will have a sit down in January 24 at the High Court because of that. But I now think with the normalization out, maybe we can smoke the peace pipe with the new leadership.
Would you come back and coach locally?
Marco, nobody wants to be away from home. Nobody wants to be away from home. I went there because of circumstances that happened with me. I got this contract in 18 July, and what happened afterwards, what happened to me at school and all these things prompted me to go there. And but nobody wants to be away from home. I love the experience in Botswana, but if my country calls me, I'll be here.
Even if your local club calls you now and says, let's say African Stars,
no.
Just parted way with their coach.
No. I've coached African Stars.
You would only come back for the national team?
I only come back for the national team.
Men, women?
Either one. If the national team calls, You come and call me, I'll come.
What are your targets and ambitions with Matabele FC?
Matabele, young team, we want to remain in the league. But what I've seen from the quality that we have, I think we can be in the top 4, even top 5. I think so. But we need to also have the organizational structure around the team well, because we are a small team. We also struggle here and there with stuff that is essential in you staying abreast with those people. But when we played them, no team has blown me away in terms of playing me off the pitch and all these things. And in actual fact, us as a small team really taking the games to them. But I think we were bolstered by the Namibians, especially the goalkeeper Mata, Bemishua Mata, Romeo Kasume. They all got injured. Kwakosep and McCartney has really been a revelation. But we are planning to take more players to Botswana, so that they can play there and go on to greener pastures. So I hope that we can move to that direction.
What are your sort of plans, short term, mid term, and long term?
I went to Botswana to go prove myself, and
how is that going?
No, I think I'm on the right track. It's not vintage. It's not the best. We struggle with basics sometimes, but I'm enjoying life there, and I'm enjoying their football. But I want to go and coach professionally, even if it's South Africa or Tanzania or Zambia, wherever I can go. I would love to go.
Okay, Woody, thank you very much for joining us.
Thank you so much.
We hope that you come back again next time. I would have loved to play games with you, but I don't want to put you into problems.
Yeah.
Because my games, they are very personal.
Okay.
Yeah, so I won't play with you because I'll put you into problems. And thank you very much for joining us. This was Game Time with Woody Jacobs, our 3rd edition, and hopefully that we get him next time when he wins the league in Botswana. His team is playing beautiful football. They are sitting pretty well at position 5. They might win the league.
One point behind the leader.
Yeah, and they might win the league very soon, so we might bring him here with his trophy to come and share with us. Thank you very much. We'll see you again next time.